Patreon folks have spoken, and they have spoken Stinkfist, which either means they've collectively run out of toilet paper or that's a Tool song. I hope it's the latter, but before we go sullying our digits, I hope you don't mind if I take just a moment to thank the following people for signing up for the Patreon supporter of the Cause Club: Luke Saple, Byron Bright, Kyle Robertson, Jackins1, and David's Vardenjans. Any day you get to say Vardenjans is a good day. Folks, thank you very, very, very much for your support. And if you would like to find out what that's all about, or your last name is Vardenjans, the link is in the description. First things first, put your guitar into drop D. Now, I don't want you to get too hung up on the rhythm here. It's hard to tell the way the bass interacts with the kick drum, interacts with the guitar. If we're to learn anything from the rest of the song, then I believe what we're gonna do is bend the E string 2nd fret, hit that 2nd fret once more before we grab the A string 5th fret. Here's our rhythm. But I kind of like to, play a little bit more. I'm going to add just one strike there, and you're going to see it goes along really well with what the drums do. I don't think it's what the guitar's doing, but for my fun, that's what I'm going to do. Either way, the 4th measure here, the last measure of the first line, is a big extended bend, followed by that A string 5th fret. So, I'll do it the first way. That's the first line of the intro. And the second half of the intro is exactly the same, except the last measure, the one with the big, long, protracted bend, instead of hitting the A string 5th fret at the end, you hit the open, now low, D string. So, and that's your intro. The verse continues to be pretty simple. Enjoy it while it lasts. And I didn't expect to hear what I heard, but once I heard it, I couldn't unhear it. So hear this, and then if you disagree with me, go listen very carefully, and I think you'll hear what I'm about to show you. It's going to be much the same rhythm as the intro. It's going to be the used to be E string 2nd fret and the A string 5th fret. It's that first high note that I didn't think was there, and it's there. Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high is the first half of the verse. The second half of the verse actually chills out a bit, which is contrary to what second halves of verses usually do. We're just gonna go low, low, high, low, low, high, low, low, high. And the very last time, instead of that high note, it's like from the B string up. So it's going to be into the chorus. Excuse me, the pre-chorus. It's going to be a drop D style power chord. That means one finger across some fret of the low 3 strings, the D, A, D, dad strings, in this case the 2nd fret. Then and sometimes it's more from the B string, sometimes it's more from the D string. You'll hear a difference, but there's really no pattern, so just get what you get and do what you feel. Plus you get to do that. You're going to do that 7 times, and I think the last time it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 5 into the chorus. So, 7 times. Last time into the chorus. In the chorus, we have a time signature change, which is very common in Tool songs. It means our counting pattern is going to change from 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/4 time signature, which is a little different from 6/8, more like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a waltz. This is like a march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to have 3 beats of the 2nd fret power chord. 1, 2, 3. 3 beats of the 10th fret. That's a C, by the way, so if you want to play it like that, that's fine too. I'm going to play it here. 1, 2, 3. then 5 beats of the largest D power chord you're ever going to play. Open, 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 2, 3. None of that. That's the major third. That's what would make it an entire major chord instead of just a power chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 6th beat of the second measure is 2, 3. So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the counting and the rhythm of your chorus, but there's one more thing I want to add, and that is the 5th beat of that D chord is actually a. So really it's going to be, I wanted you to get comfortable counting it first, and now we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the chorus. The first half of the second verse is even more chill than the second half of the first verse. Are you following? We're really just going to have this note here. You can add, if you want. I think that's the bass. Might be the guitar. Do it if you want. And the second half of the second verse is very similar to the first half of the first verse. And into the second chorus, there's a bend, and you'll hear this bend a bunch. It's either the A string 5th fret, you know, or if you want to be really fancy, pluck the D string open and bend it down below your nut there. The bend was into that second pre-chorus. Excuse me, I keep getting the chorus and the pre-chorus confused here. Anyways, I was just giving the second pre-chorus a really good listen, and it seems that the first time when I thought it was the 5th fret going into the chorus, the second time it's definitely... So I think that 5th fret assessment might have been wrong. I mean, maybe they did it. You don't have to do the same thing every time in a song. Perhaps it was just whatever particular combination of strings in the they happened to get, and they didn't get the same one in the second pre. It doesn't matter. Do the 5th fret, do it open, do whatever you want to do, whatever feels good going into the chorus. Or whatever gets you going. And then we have that little breakdown after the second chorus. Play an A power chord. You can do it here, but this is a lot more convenient. And then the note we hear next is the E string 3rd fret. But I'm pretty sure I hear that note bending down a little bit towards the tail end of it, which means what we can do is grab the 2nd fret and kind of pluck it bent and just let it tail down before we grab the 3rd fret power chord, slide up to the 5th fret, and then the A string is going 2 frets higher and then back down. So tiny little breakdown after the second chorus. The next thing we encounter is some really cool smaller string stuff. Grab the G string 7th fret and the B string 5th fret, just back and forth between those two. And then what I want to hear is the D string 9th fret at the end. For the first thing. Then you do that again, but longer this time, and at the end you grab that B string 5th fret, slide it up to 6, and now we've got B6 and baby E open, which is a trip because the higher string is the lower note, and you go back and forth between those, and then you slide your B6 up to 8 back into your, so nice and slow. I'll do that first part a little shorter than it really is. And it just kind of fizzles out here. And that's your little leady part, your double LP. At which point you've got a chuggy part. I can't tell if it's bass or bass and guitar. Might as well join in the fun. 2 and 0 for power chords. Ooh, we get get to do that again. And then, we're kind of almost done. Grab power chord on the 14th fret. What we're going to do is add the D and G strings 16th fret. You're going to strum away on your 14 again, but the end of it's going to be your open chord. So, twice. Then this is awesome. 9-9 on the low strings, and the D string is going to be 12. Same rhythm, but what's going to happen is your pointer finger is coming off. This note stays constant. You go through that routine twice. And then we run into this part. You're going to have 10, 10, 12, 2 frets higher, regular drop D power chord on 9, open, and then it's the 2nd fret, but they add the G string 4th fret and the B string 5th fret, so you can add those if you want. This is the same thing we were doing when we were playing the biggest D power chord you've ever played, but it's 2 frets higher, so you have to do like 5 times as much stuff. And this is the biggest E power chord you've ever played. So, 10, 10, 12, 2 frets higher, 9, O, E. Do that a bunch of times. You can throw that 2 down and then add those as you can. Right? The last time, it's our 10, 10, 12. 2 frets higher, 9 without the open, and then down to 7, 7, 9. So, let that ring out. Then you do that very last thing we just talked about, clean a few times. Or, you know, as clean as Tool gets. And when we get down to this one, we want these ambiguous, not quite the right note E, B, and G strings tinkling away, which gives it a nice feel. And then the last time, what you do is hit your 9, and then we're in the last thing we have to talk about today, and here it is. Power chord on the 2nd fret. 3 times like that, then it's the biggest power chord you've ever played, starting on the 5th fret, up to the 7th fret, and down to the 4th fret. That part goes directly into the chorus, which we already know. I'm gonna go to bed now. Just kidding. That was really fun. I hope it was fun and helpful for you too. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.